What a gorgeous day it is in South Louisiana, and it got me thinking. You know, lots of times, probably most of the time, we look around and we see people who look very successful, and it's probably easy to believe that they must have had an easy life, perfect childhood, right? All the things. Maybe it came easy, maybe not so easy. Tell you what I realized is that we're all just trying to live our lives, and sometimes it's very hard. From the outside looking in, probably to some of you who do not know my story, think that maybe I had a great childhood, came from a great family, you know, went to college, whatever, all the things, right? The truth is, my mom and dad got divorced when I was 6. My dad was married 5 times before the age of 44, which means that I grew up pretty much every other weekend we got to see him, and it felt like there was always someone new to meet. And we did not spend a whole lot of time with my dad one-on-one. I didn't really know him, and I didn't really realize that until much later, looking back on it, that he was preoccupied with the new girlfriend, the new wife, the new whatever, right? And so when I was 19, he passed away of a massive heart attack. I was 19, my brother was 17, my sister was 15. At that time, we had only moved in with him the year before, when I was a senior in high school. He passed away when I was 19, and we did not know that he had remortgaged the house, which meant that we had to sell it and pay it off, which meant we were all homeless. I did not have an easy childhood. I do not regret any of it at all, because it is all absolutely taught me grit, determination, resilience, all the things. My mom, who is still living today and it has severe dementia, was very, very, very abusive, physically, mentally, all the ways, our whole entire childhood. And but every time I go visit her, she remembers. She doesn't remember what's going on today. She remembers me, and she remembers the way that she treated us growing up. And every single time I go to visit her, she apologizes. She says how sorry she is. And we have the same conversation every time. It's like Groundhog's Day. We cry, and I say, Mama, it's okay. I forgive you 1,000,000%, because you only knew what you knew, right? And it's true. People only do what they know how to do. When we know better, we do better. Thankfully, growing up, I always knew that there was something not right about my childhood. I was surrounded by families who were loving and kind and generous. I had many friends with great parents, many relatives with great marriages, and I always knew what I wanted it to look like. So when I got married and raised my boys, I did it. I was rough and I was tough, but I loved them, and by no means were they ever abused. And thankfully, I raised 2 amazing boys. Fast forward though, I got together with my now ex-husband when I was 18. I mean, think about what you know at 18 as opposed to what you know as a grown adult 30 years later. Unfortunately, our marriage did not last. We both tried for 32 years. We gave it all we knew to do, right? And so I've been divorced now for 2 years. And when it first happened, I absolutely felt like a failure. I did, for a little while. And then I realized life is too short. I do not believe in regrets. And so since then, I've worked really hard to make myself proud of my own self and to make my boys proud of me. My point is, we're all just playing the highlight reel, especially on social media. If we get on social media and believe that what's out there is the whole story, then we're absolutely wrong. Think about any time you're on a trip, you're on a vacation, you're at a party, you're at a get-together. There are some things that happen that are not fun, that are not exciting, but what are we looking for? We're looking to capture the best parts of those trips, right? And that's what we put on social media. That's what we do. We want the world to believe that everything is just amazing. So tying that into real estate, for me, I got into real estate 7.5 years ago because I had been in education for 20 years, and I got to the point where in education I had moved up the ranks fairly quickly. In my last 5 years, I was a technology supervisor over the entire district, literally making pennies and not happy, and in a man's world, so I felt, in a very political man's world at that time. And I had thought at that time that I wanted to become superintendent of the parish, and at that time it just was not the right time. It didn't happen, and I was devastated. But thank God every day it happened the way it did, because at 20 years I got out of education, jumped full force into real estate, started over completely my career at the age of 44 years old. And I didn't know if I'd love real estate. I didn't know a single thing about real estate. But thankfully, I was surrounded by so many friends and family who supported me and who helped me through those first years where I was, it was tough not knowing anything. But I thank God every day that He brought me to this career. So now I'm able to help people every day in every walk of life buy and sell real estate. So the reason I wanted you to know my story is because I know from the outside looking in, sometimes it looks like maybe it's perfect, maybe I've had it easy. Listen, nothing's easy. Life is not easy. Life is about challenges. Life's about picking ourselves up and learning from those things that happen, right, in our lives, and moving forward the best way that we know how at that given moment. If you're in a situation where you think that things cannot get better, always remember tomorrow is another day, and it can get better. 2 years ago, I wasn't so sure. Growing up, sometimes we're very, very rough. I regret none of it. It has all brought me to who I am today, where I am today, and it's brought me lots of wisdom, lots of grit, lots of determination, lots of failing forward. I failed many, many, many times, but learned lessons every step of the way. If you're in a situation with real estate and you need to buy or you need to sell and you're not sure where to start, or if you're thinking about a new career and you're thinking about real estate, for any of those reasons or all of those reasons, text me, call me. I'd love to have a conversation with you. But just know that there is always something to look forward to. Y'all take care.